It's amazing to me. I am still seeing uh, tons of analysts and traders trying to pick a top in this market. Um, we had some resistance here at 2,800. Uh, I warned people that we were due for a move down into a daily cycle low, but that would be the buying opportunity from what I can gather, um, reading the articles and analysis on the internet. Much of the stuff that I read, um, just as I suspected, as soon as this dip began, people started calling the top, and they missed the buying opportunity right here. I mean, literally, this daily cycle decline lasted barely 5 days. It was over in the blink of an eye, and then we're off to the races again. Um, so I'm still seeing people um, saying that this is a topping process, and I don't know what chart they're looking at, but um, the market has you know gone convincingly through this 2,800 resistance zone. There's basically no more resistance between here and the all-time highs, so the all-time highs are now going to act like a magnet pulling price higher. Now, yes, we are getting a little stretched above this 10-day moving average, so we're going to need a pullback, a down day or two. Maybe the FOMC meeting tomorrow triggers a slight pullback, or maybe we need to trade sideways a little bit and allow this moving average some time to catch up. But at this point, it's pretty much inevitable, I think. These all-time highs are going to act like a magnet, pulling the market higher. And, um, I just don't see anything that's going to stop this market from retesting these all-time highs, and probably we're going to get a marginal breakout before this intermediate cycle tops. I'm guessing at some point here we're going to get the trade deal. Maybe it's one of those sell the news type of events where, um, as soon as it happens, the market's been pricing this in for months now. So as soon as it happens, then we get profit taking, and we get an intermediate degree correction. But we're still very early in this daily cycle. Plenty of upside here to the all-time highs. Still a lot of people trying to pick a top. And realistically, I said all along I didn't think we were going to retest this bottom, and clearly we are not going to retest this bottom. There's just, it's going to take some kind of major catastrophic event to turn this back down, and even get a serious attempt to try and retest this bottom. We've got the Fed on hold. They're not going to raise rates this year, and clearly we have a deal impending, coming with China. And so, in order to counteract those two very bullish um, events, or bullish fundamentals now in the market, I mean, it would take World War III probably to counteract the bullish developments that are now in place. So, I tried to warn people all along that this was just a profit-taking event. It was a regression to the mean event. I'll widen this chart out a little bit. It was just a price just got stretched too far above this 200-week moving average, and this is what happens at 4-year cycle lows, multi-year cycle lows. Is the price will come back down and retest this long-term moving average, and then the next 4 years, the advancing phase of the next 4-year cycle begins. You can see the same thing kind of happened here in 2016, although this was kind of more of a sideways um, test and then a quick little drop, whereas this was kind of more like a 1987 quick crash type event. But both just did what you know just tends to happen at these multi-year cycle lows as we close this gap, and then we begin the next or the advancing phase of the next 4-year cycle. So there's just a lot of positive things that are now developing. Rate hiking cycle is over. We got a trade deal coming with China, and for uh, clearly almost zero chance of a recession anytime in the near future. I know here in Vegas that there are help wanted signs everywhere, so clearly we aren't even vaguely close to a recession. And I've mentioned this before. Recessions are caused by a spike in inflation, namely uh, a very big and quick move up in the price of oil uh, that collapses the middle class discretionary spending. And, obviously with oil not even at $60 yet, we don't have anything like that that could cause a recession. So this was never pricing in an impending recession. This was just a regression to the mean correction. Price got too far above the 200-week moving average and needed to either go sideways or come back down and tag it, and that's exactly what it did. And we are now starting the advancing phase of a next 4-year cycle. During this cycle, the Nasdaq is going to reach that 10,000, and it may even go above it. Um, but we still got at least another 10, maybe 15 years yet in this secular bull market, and you've got to quit listening to these perma bulls that have been fighting this market all the way up. This is just what happens. The same thing happened uh, after the Great Depression. It was 25 years before people were ready to believe in markets again, and the memory of 2009 has just convinced so many people that the next shoe is going to drop at any minute, and so many analysts have missed this entire bull market, and most of them will miss the rest of this bull market too. They'll get bullish at the very top 10 or 15 years from now when we're in the bubble phase of this bull market. But right now, this is the beginning of a new 4-year cycle, and it's not, we're through resistance at 2,800. This is going to act like a magnet now, drawing price higher. I do expect we're going to test and probably marginally break these highs before this intermediate cycle tops. Then we'll get some kind of an intermediate correction to get the bears all hopeful again, and then that's the point at which we'll get a breakout from this and start the next big leg up in this bull market.